Skip that ad.
When I think of Cenat and Adin Ross being friends, it reminds me of Tay Too Smooth and Blackboy Max, which is probably gonna surprise a lot of you. But now that I've been removed from that situation for some time, and with the help of the comments from that time, I think I fully understand why it rubbed me so wrong that Max cut Tay off. That's because Max only cut Tay off because he did something to him. Max was complicit in the chaos Tay caused as long as the chaos wasn't something that directly affected him. Talking behind Max's back directly affects him. In the same way, I believe Cenat allowed Adin to be in a limbo of sorts, despite his clear distance, because he never wanted to truly sever that connection. It doesn't matter that Adin Ross was going viral for being or a bigot or a horrible person, as long as Adin never directly did anything to Kai. So today I'm going to talk about the implications of Cenat's complicity and what that means on the broader scale. Obviously nobody's going to do that. They're just going to make videos talking about how Kai exposed the industry or the truth, but in reality all Kai did was expose that lack of authenticity. Be warned, there will be a little bit of speculation, but obviously y'all know I'm the wokest kid from the hood, so you'll be thoroughly satisfied. I'm done rambling, let's start. Okay, so what's the deal between Kai and Adin anyways? Now before Cenat was the Kai we know, it's a known thing that Kai was in Adin's chats, and during this time Adin actually wasn't weird. He was a big name and he was known for his crazy e-dates, and eventually Kai got on one. This e-date is what a lot of people like to attribute to Kai's success. It's no secret that Kai being on Adin's platform did a lot for him, seriously. And after the e-date, AMP would be featured on Adin's stream, and the fact that this was in 2021, Adin had serious motion, and that did a lot for him.
AMP, man, a lot of games. Yeah. What the fuck is this? I like the energy, brother. Let me say I got too much energy in shit.
Now I want to establish that so far, Adin has done things for Kai which can be used to explain why Kai remained in this weird limbo stage with him, despite Adin's various controversies, be it debt, loyalty, or whatever. But my personal guess is that it's opportunity. I feel like Adin and Kai's relationship was birthed from opportunity. I'm gonna provide some more examples in this video, so just chill. But Kai's breakout moment was an opportunity that he got from Adin Ross. So because of this, to me, it just set the tone for the remainder of their friendship. Its foundation was built on opportunity. They weren't real friends, they were business partners, and business lacks morals. So I want to take a moment to talk about Adin Ross, his most recent ban, and the red pill kick era. We all know that when Adin officially—
Time out real quick. I definitely respect and understand, you know, the side of things where Adin obviously, I don't want to say I don't want to pull the put Kai on part, because Kai was big. Like obviously he was more so New York big than like all of America big, but he was still big, and AMP was a thing because all the guys involved were big. So if we're gonna sit here and act like there's a gradient to levels of it, that's kind of disingenuous in my eyes, respectfully. But at the same time, it's one of those things where, yes, to a certain extent, both of their platforms like benefited from both guys blending with each other back then. And honestly, Adin was a little bit was significantly less controversial back then. Yeah, he was even blocked on Twitch back then. He was perfectly fine. Now, perfectly fine might be a bit of a stretch, because he has some very interesting antics of his own, but for the most part, he was just a chill guy. He was somebody that was always in comms. He was always running e-dates. He was always doing weird stuff, but it was funny because it was Adin the one that was doing it, and he wasn't like a threat to anybody. So to me, I understand how they could have a problem now. And I think the beef between Blackboy Max and bro makes a lot of sense to draw as a comparison here with DH did it. Because it's one of those things where, yes, technically you can find yourself in a way allowing somebody to kind of do their own thing, even if their own thing is kind of wrong, if you feel like either you owe them or there's a sense of loyalty there. Because we've all been in a space where, like, you know, your homeboy might not be the best boyfriend for somebody, but you're not gonna go over to the girl and be like, I'm not gonna lie, you shouldn't date my homeboy. Cause that's a little disloyal. That's bro, why you watching what he got going on type thing. It gets a little bit wicked out there. But to me, it's one of those things where there comes a limit, and the moment it affects you, and this is universal, regardless of where you are, who you are, especially in the United States. We've adopted this policy where if it doesn't affect me, I can ignore it. I can act like it doesn't exist until it affects me. Then that's a me problem. I have to deal with it. I literally have to face the music, because the music isn't going anywhere else. It's right here, smack dab in front of my face. And when you have that, it creates a world where you can't ignore it anymore. He forced his hand, right? And Aiden doing this whole mental gymnastics thing across the globe, talking about how some people don't rock with him and da-da-da, and then this comp saying, oh, it's Kai, it's Kai, it's Kai, and then him not stopping it and just going with it. Well, now we've created a space where I already said before, they have two different types of fan bases. Yes, they both largely appeal to the younger audiences overall, but the type of people, the type of brands that are going to support Kai are not going to support Aiden because of Aiden's issues before, because of all the things that he's done that have been so controversial. Not just normal controversial, like, oh, it's not popular to say. Like controversial where like throughout the test of time, it should not be okay to say or okay to do or okay to support. But he did it anyways, and that was his code of conduct. So he made a decision. So acting like, oh, we can definitely do anything together, well, that somehow implies that Kai should be willing to at least mildly agree with your takes, and now you're interlocked. And that's not good for Kai, because then he loses money, because some people, it takes one person with any level of clout, or enough rumblings up underneath of a bunch of nobodies saying, dang, like, Aiden's had all these controversies, but Kai's always around him. Kai's always supporting him. Kai's always doing this, always doing that. And you got to ask yourself, is Kai the same as Aiden and he's just better at hiding it? Does he have the same opinions and feelings towards these things that Aiden does? And that's why they blend? Because there's no way you can be friends with somebody that has polar opposite views of you. There's no way you can respect a human being like that and just, you know, they do their thing and you do yours and y'all constantly come together and collapse. Certainly there has to be, there's a fine line where things just don't work anymore, right? Right? That's all it takes. That's all. It just takes a little bit. It just takes a little bit. Think of a snowball at the top of a mountain. If you take a little handful of snow, pack it together, toss it down the hill. It's not big at first. It's small. But as it continues to roll down, it continues to pick up snow and keeps going faster and faster and faster, bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger it gets, the more snow it collects. And then when it gets to the bottom, it's already an avalanche. If it didn't start about halfway down the mountain. And that's what we're seeing here. Because even if it was small people in Twitter comms talking about, oh, Kai don't rock with Aiden. Aiden don't rock with Kai, da-da-da. And now Aiden felt the need to talk about it. And now they're taking it this far. Now you're forcing Kai's hand, and Kai has to explain his side of things when he was just trying to say, I'm going to let that brother do his without damaging him, because the moment they sit there and sever this tie, they're damaging each other to a certain extent. I would say Aiden gets hurt more than Kai does, because Kai is the golden boy right now to a certain extent. Like he is the perfect little baby for Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to avoid like issues and bans and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's like if Kai wants something, Kai can get it. You know what I'm saying? Just like for Kick, Aiden is the cash cow, so he can do whatever he wants. He's gonna get paid regardless because he draws people in. But the reason why Aiden finally apparently got unbanned from Twitch, there's a reason why he was banned. Kai can't keep doing that. Like, yeah, in the beginning he was saying the whole thing of like, I'm gonna try and get you unbanned, I'm gonna try and get you unbanned, I'm gonna try and get you unbanned. But after a certain time, after a certain while, when you're Kai and you're at the top of the billboard and you have the most power, and you go to talk to the executives like, yo, unban my man. It's like, I know he was kind of off base, but like, what are we doing? And the owner of Twitch sits down with you and says, hey, this and this is the problem. Are you willing to deal with the ramifications of what could potentially happen if we allow him back and he does something like this again? Because it's gonna fall on you, right? Because we're gonna come out and you'll have the opportunity to say, yeah, man, I was successful, I brought you back. And that happens because he's gonna double down. We know how he is. We know how Aiden is. He has a crippling gambling addiction. We know the sort of stuff that he's gotten into before. And he's never had a squeaky clean slate, no matter how anybody tries to slice it. So no, we good. We good. Respectfully, we good.
Moved to Kick, he went on a little red pill demon arc where he was enabling that type of rhetoric and ideology, being on stream with characters like Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, and overall just promoting an environment of bigotry. He was banned on Twitch due to that environment he enabled. It was common knowledge that Adin Ross was a brand risk and most importantly just a weirdo and horrible person, but despite that, you'd still see Cenat at times advocating for his unban.
Wait, so this nigga, hold on, so this nigga Aiden is banned from Kick? Shit, I'm gonna try one more time. Well, away from Kick, I'm gonna try one more time to get him unbanned. I'm gonna try one last time, bro, on Twitch. I'm gonna try one last time, bro.
This clip was in 2024. That's Kai asking for Adin to be unbanned, which is pretty fucking weird. All things considered, we're not gonna act like Adin wasn't hanging around and a dude who kept getting charged with. But if nobody's gonna address the elephant in the room, I will. That aside though, there are more clips like that where Kai is vocal about advocating for Adin's unban, except there's a disconnect. And if you remember from my last video, I talked about times where Adin is pillow talking to the camera for the clips and saying how he feels like Kai doesn't mess with them.
Hey, mid, answer your phone. So much plug. Like, do you ever shut the f, kid? Are you gonna host your channel again? Cool, Kai, don't answer my phone. I got something for you on God.
College Streamer University?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Why I didn't get invited?
Oh, you gotta apply.
True.
Too good to apply.
I can go live and have fun today because you came over and Mike came over and Jake came over and that's easy as a call. And now everyone wants to pick up their phone and f me again because I'm unbanned, so I'm just happy, bro.
Whoa, we're not skipping past that. See, I noticed the little things. You said now people want to pick up the phone and f with me again. What does that mean? Who was a f you when you was down? What you talking about?
When I
feel like everybody was, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when I was banned, bro, you know, there's a difference between love and fake love. And I don't really want to even go into that because it's like, I don't want issues. I don't want to start problems.
And like I said, bro, that shit is mad corny. That's a grown man pillow talking and subbing for the clips. And don't forget the recent one I showed you last video. And that's what I mean. This is the disconnect. From Kai's perspective, the story is that he's just trying to get his friend unbanned. From Adin's perspective, he feels like he's being abandoned. And you have to ask the question, why? Because they were never freaking friends. They were opportunities. That's why it's been weird energy emanating from both of them. That's why there's a disconnect between the two individuals and their clips. And once again, referencing my last video, these are grown men faking connections for collabs. That's why despite Adin expressing on multiple occasions that he notices the distance between him and Kai will still pop up when the opportunity arises.
Yo.
What's good?
Yo, Kai.
Mr. Cenat.
What's good? Don't say that word on stream.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, hell no.
Hey, Kai.
Yo, Drizzy.
And that's Kai calling Adin during his Diddy Drake stream to talk to Drake. So let me get this straight. Adin is subbing for the clips, expressing Kai is distant, but Kai can still call when Drake is in the room. And I don't know about y'all, but that do sound like an opportunity. And good thing for us, we can tell when this stuff is fake because the energy gonna always tell the truth.
But he's always been a hustler, bro. I just want that nigga to be careful and shit, you know, make sure he making the right moves and shit, you know. That nigga right there, man, he's special, man. Shout out Tota, bro. He got Brazil on his back.
And that's Kai talking about his friend Tota and how he has to be careful because he's around Adin Ross, which is such a weird clip if they're still friends. Why would you say that about your friend? But that's what I mean. These people aren't friends with each other. They see each other as opportunities, which is why I want to briefly compare everything that's happening with Kai and Adin to the Tay Too Smooth situation. During that time, I couldn't properly express what felt so weird about it, but it's the fact that Max allowed Tay to be his friend despite the fact that he was this renowned weirdo and creep within the streamer space, but only stopped being his friend when Tay himself disrespected Max. Now, despite every weird controversy Adin's been in, I have not once seen Adin explicitly disrespect Kai, not in any personal manner. And I'm being very specific with my wording here. I know y'all remember the Cotton incident when Adin moved to Twitch, but that's not the same as explicitly badmouthing a nigga. So the reason I compare the two situations is because both Kai and Max were still willing to remain in contact with two questionable individuals because of opportunity, whether that be content in Tay's case or connections in Adin's. Now that leads us to the present time, where Kai is still in this weird limbo where he doesn't act like Adin exists and then explains his distant behavior using smoke screens.
I'm not in the mental state to be in front of you. As soon as a color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas. I watch Adin streams a lot.
Kai, that's everybody's stream. Faye's stream has it. Bro, Kai, Ray will be on stream making monkey noises. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stick up for my community, bro. It's every single person on the internet. I'm not going for that, bro. I'm sorry, I'm not going for that, bro. Ray could sit there, do monkey noises, and say crazy shit all the time, but it's cool. But as soon as it's my community or anybody else's community, Cuffin will call me crazy juice stuff, and I talk to Cuffin back the same way, bro. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
and I hate to agree with Adin, but he's right. Kai is not telling the correct reason why he is not friends with these people or why he's distant, which I'll give you guys my own theory in a bit. But when Kai said the reason niggas ain't friends is because of Twitter communities and the reason he's distant from Adin is because of his white manager, I knew it was some bullshit. Once again, these people are millionaires. They quite literally don't have to work another day in their life. And he's trying to sit up here on the camera and tell you he's not messing with these people because of little kids in Twitter communities. Does that make sense? It does not make sense. Why would I as a millionaire care about basement dwellers commenting on me and my millionaire friends' lives? The only thing that would make sense is that they were not friends in the first place and that these comms are merely accumulated on top of pre-existing issues. Because there's no way I'm falling out with my day one homeboy over some Twitter comms. And let's just go back to the manager thing. Adin himself has said the N-word and has been on some weird racist stuff for so long. And on top of that, Kai has let an Asian dude who lives in a crib he pays for do racist stuff.
Okay, Rage, guess what? Yeah, fuck talking about. Jason, you don't even know what the fuck I say.
So why is his manager the reason?
Call me crazy. Call me crazy. At least you're calling. I don't think Monkey. I don't think it's racist. If you're friends and you've never done anything joking in that manner, or you've never sat there and one of your homeboys turned the lights out and said they can't find you because you were the darkest one in your group, right? Talking about people that look like this. I don't know about everybody else, but talking about people like this, and you just happen to be the darkest one out of the group, and they sit there and turn the lights out. Or sometimes they'll do it to the one that isn't the darkest in the room. Just somebody that's also dark. If you can't make jokes like that, they're not really your homeboy for real. Respectfully, right? Just like sometimes you'll have friends in different types of communities or different types of we can keep it on the what is it, ethnic background of people. Sometimes you'll have people from different countries and you'll see some people make certain jokes with each other, but they're the only ones that can make the joke with each other. It's kind of like if I have a short brother, like blood brother, that I live with, and I always make short jokes to him about him. I can call him short because that's my brother, right? But the moment somebody else calls him short, now we have a problem. Now I gotta say, hey, chill. I can call him short because that's my brother. We have that bond. We can make these jokes that are crazy outlandish that probably aren't going to be tasteful for most people because we know we're joking. You don't. We don't know you well enough to sit there and allow you to say certain things or just brush certain things off that you do because we don't know you like that. But I know him. I know his character. I know who he is as a person. So, of course, I'm going to have the opportunity to have that conversation with him away from everybody to see if I felt something felt weird. I'm going to talk to him about it later on because I can do that, right? Everybody can't do that. So to sit here, I don't think we can blanket things like that per se. For the most part, I'm in agreement. But that's the one part. I just feel like this might be a little outlandish.
Reason Kai is distancing himself from Adin. It just does not make sense. These are lies. These are smoke screens. It's like Kai isn't even consistent with the racism he condones. And we're supposed to just believe him when he says the reason he's not friends with Adin is because of some smelly manager. Like, okay. And then on top of that, Kai tries to make it about people of color and empathizing with the black experience. But he doesn't even respect black people. So how is he going to make his reason for how he's been acting about racism and how that makes him as a black man feel when he has disrespected black Americans?
I don't want to hear, like, when I'm asking general questions, I'm not asking y'all niggas. Stop big body. Y'all niggas is black. You're black. You're just black.
Just be yourself and hit them with hate. Also, I just bowed the Anarchy hoodie yesterday. Can't wait finna resubscribe in a little W female viewer. Big 2 months December 9th.
Thank you so much. Bro, you're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it. How was that see you in 30? That wasn't an insult. That was strictly, you're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not, word. You're not Ghanaian. You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban. You are American.
I farted so.
So the reason why Kai and Adin were never friends is because, in my opinion, their relationship was built on the foundation of opportunity. And now that Adin has went down a controversial path, Kai wants to still reap the benefits of the connections or opportunities Adin has while maintaining his good PR. The example is the Drake clip. To do this, he keeps their standing unclear, not really speaking to him, avoiding him on stream, and when it's beneficial, he'll pop up and say something. Like how when Adin got unbanned, all of a sudden Kai's congratulating him. Don't this sound like a toxic relationship?
Nigga, Dirk just dropped the album. That boy Adin is unbanned. That boy, as soon as he got unbanned, I hit him up. As soon as he got unbanned, that is so... Yo, chat, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That is so crazy. I ain't gonna lie, the summer is literally settling in.
Now that I've talked about all that BS, what are the implications of it? Well, it's simple. If Kai's gonna be a grown man and treat friendships like weird opportunities and maintain contact with an objectively bad person, it sets a precedent for the young people who are wasting precious time watching him. That's what be worrying me. The implications are that these guys are raising the freaking youth. Thank God I don't have any brothers, because if I did and I caught them spending precious hours watching Coco Melon Cenat or Adin Ross, bro, I might have to go old yeller them. But in general, if you're gonna take anything away from this, don't let your family watch streamers. Think critically, support DH. He's a cool kid, kinda woke, but I like him. That's all I had to say though. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions. Stream Rest in Days by Che.
I rock with DH. Nah, but like at the end of the day, he hit the nail on the head. They were never really friends. Like they were never brothers for real. They were just business partners that were able to blend together well because their content coincided and their communities allowed them to. Once Kai reached a certain point and he reached a certain peak, there was no reason for them to be blended like that because being blended with Adin hurt Kai in the long run, and it was bound to. But yeah, no. DH did it again. DH did it again.